Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the OBC. As always, with me and Cam. How you doing?
Man, I'm doing good, man. How you doing? How you feeling?
I don't think you can really be a whole much better after what happened Sunday night, man.
Yeah,
That
that was amazing. That was amazing.
and we're not gonna talk about Ohio State yet. I
Yeah,
think we'll talk about that later, and we'll talk about the off season and all that. This is gonna be all about the Cleveland Browns. That's what this show is supposed to be anyway. So let's talk about it, man. The Cleveland Browns get to the playoffs. Everybody says, "Oh, well, at least you got there. You'll have a first round exit." And what do? They come out and they completely stomp the Pittsburgh Steelers in Pittsburgh in one of Big Ben's, if not his last season, one of his last seasons. What was your thoughts, especially like after the first like few minutes into that game?
so we're gonna go through the first play. That first play, all I could think is, please somebody land on the ball, please. Because usually, I don't know if you know this, but I mean, when I look at it, when I see the Browns, I don't know why we can't get the fumbles, but usually I'm like, it's a dead play. Pittsburgh recovered back, try again. But yo, we recovered and got a touchdown out of it. So I mean, a lot of things went good for us in that game. So I mean, it's something to be a plus for.
Yeah, the first thing that went through my head as soon as I seen that ball go over his head, I thought of the Peyton Manning Broncos
Seattle
versus the
Super Bowl.
Seahawks. Yeah,
Yeah,
and when that happened, that was a safety. That wasn't a touchdown. That was a safety. And for the Browns to start off that way, I was like, okay, either this is just a complete tease and we're about to get our heart broke, or this is about to be insane. And that's what it was. I mean, that was just I mean, 28 nothing at the end of the first quarter is insane. I understand they came back and we'll obviously talk about that, but the fact that after the first quarter and the Browns' first playoff game in 18 years, they put up 28 points unanswered is unbelievable. And the fact that it was against Big Ben and the Pittsburgh Steelers is hilarious. And I don't know about you, but my problem with the Steelers right now, other than hating them for just being them, Juju and Claypool and all these guys need to shut up. I mean, these guys are running around like 12-year-olds dancing on TikTok, acting like people care about how many followers they have. Why don't you win big time games? You lost 5 out of the last 6. 5 out of the last 6, including 2 to the Browns twice. And all you Steelers fans, "Oh, well, that was our backups." Well, guess what we did against your starters? It was worse. So instead of talking Juju and Claypool, especially Claypool is on DAZN in Canada talking about, "Oh, we were disrespectful or whatever." Bro, you guys have been literally, I mean, you're known for dancing more than you are football. The Pittsburgh Steelers are the laughing stock of the NFL, not because of losing, but because of how they lose. They run their mouths, they talk, and then they lose like this. So I don't did you see any of that with Claypool this week?
the TikTok mess. I mean, I mean, I don't know if a lot of people, if a lot of our viewers or listeners seen it, but I mean, Claypool was basically saying that the Browns were immature in the way they won the game, talking mess to Juju. I mean, when you mock teams and do that crap like they did all year, I mean, you should expect when somebody beats you pretty bad, you should expect that coming. I mean, I don't know if you follow what I'm saying, man, but I mean, if we were doing that to other teams and we get our ass kicked, wouldn't you expect somebody to do that to us after the game or talk some trash?
Yeah, of course. And that's my biggest problem. It's not that you talked, it's you're still talking after you got your butt kicked. I mean, you remember that when they played the Bills and Josh Allen, and I don't, I've come around on Josh Allen. I did not really like him at all early on, but when he was in the tunnel and, you know, going over their, pregame speech and whatever, he goes, let them dance. Who cares? We'll shut them up. The Browns did that. They did shut him up, but you know what the problem is? The Steelers can't shut up, even after getting their butts kicked.
And you know what else I think is kind of bad? I think it shows to tell you that. I mean, it's a reflection of their coach. I mean, Mike Thomas really not saying anything. I mean, they claim he told Juju he had to stop dancing, but I mean, that's not what a head coach. I mean, you're supposed to. If you're a head coach, you're supposed to get these guys. Come on, you gotta shut up, man. I mean, it's not really nothing to really talk about.
And you know what? I have a
But
problem with
you know what else? You know what else is probably kind of
what's
they
that?
can't help the fact that they got beat by the Browns.
Oh yeah. I mean, it'd be like if Ohio State got beat by Michigan.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But I think, the problem I have is you have these talking heads who do what we do now, just have a conversation about this stuff. And they're saying, oh, well, you guys are just you're grumpy old fans. These are young guys. This is what they do. I'm sorry. I don't see DK Metcalf doing that. I don't see Terry McLaurin doing that. I don't see, um, shoot, what's his name? Justin Jefferson. All these young guys, yeah, they celebrate after they score. I got no problem with it. You know what, Juju? If you want to dance, dance all you want after you score. I don't care. That's you. You've earned that. But I'm saying don't make this an age thing and act like these guys are just, oh, they're young. I mean, they're young. They'll learn, whatever. No, it's not an age thing. It's an immaturity thing. And it goes exactly back to what you're talking about coaching and leadership. My problem with the Steelers, I don't see any leadership on that team.
No, and let's look at this. If Baker gets fly at the mouth or says some cocky stuff, what's gonna happen?
Exactly. And that's the thing. I was talking, my best friend's a Steelers fan. We were talking, and he goes, don't act like Baker didn't do this. I said, well, first of all, a lot of times, whenever Baker was doing it a lot, he was doing it before the game. He wasn't doing it after he got his butt kicked, you know? And yeah, I mean, he's toned it down. He's stopped. He's matured. But you know what? At least he never did it after he got, the brakes beat off of him. That's what your guys are doing, you know? So I don't know. It's just so frustrating to me because, I mean, and we might as well just talk about this. Look at the Steelers' future. They have Dupree, Watt, up for contracts. Ben is at a crazy number, and I'm sorry, this is not like meant to be rude. Ben sucks. He is not Ben of old. He's not.
Yeah,
A-
definitely.
And if he comes back, he's going to be even worse because you don't get better as you get older in sports. You get worse. So, they got that, and then they got, you got to worry about Pouncey. Is Pouncey retiring? You got all these guys that you gotta make big time decisions on. You don't have a good draft pick. You don't have good cap space. I'm sorry, but they're not gonna be
And to be
great
honest,
for a while.
they're gonna have to get rid of either Watt or Dupree. They're not gonna be able to sign both of those guys.
Yeah, Dupree's out. There's no way they let Watt go.
No, yeah, no.
But yeah, I don't know. I seen I said a kid, I was gonna say a kid. It's a full grown man on TikTok who's a Steelers fan who you get people who are fans of their team and they say, "Well, this is what I want us to do in the off season." It was that kind of a video. And
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
he was talking. He's like, "All right, step one, trade for Deshaun Watson. Step two, re-sign TJ, re-sign Dupree, re-sign." And I'm
Can't resign
like,
everybody, man.
first of all, this is not Madden. You can't just turn the salary cap off. you know? So I don't know. It was just stupid, but who cares? You know, that's the best part about this whole thing. You didn't just get to the playoffs, you got to the playoffs by beating the Steelers, and then you ruined their season. I
Yeah,
mean,
man. I mean, I wouldn't have wanted any other way than this. To tell you the truth.
and you know what? Now you look at where you're at and you say, okay, we went 11-5, got to the wild card, and beat the Steelers with a
Not
rookie
just
head
beat them,
coach.
beat them soundly,
Yeah,
and without a head coach
convincingly.
as well.
Yeah, and I mean, what the Browns have done to this point is nothing short of incredible. The step that, or I'm sorry, the step that this franchise has taken this year, there's no going back. This is the new Browns.
Oh no, without a doubt.
So, did you have a problem like I did with Joe Woods' defense at points in this game?
Um, a little bit, but now, like, so I'm gonna piggyback on Ohio State a little bit. But after watching Ohio State's defensive game plan, it made me feel way better about Joe Woods.
Yeah, no kidding.
I'm like,
My pro
wow. I'm like, wow. I thought I would have to be grinding my teeth about watching the Browns defense instead of Ohio State's.
that's a completely other 20-minute discussion about ranting about that. That was just ridiculous. But my problem was I don't know why teams do this. They feel like they always have to go to a prevent defense whenever they get somewhat of a lead. And it feels like Joe Woods is so
That's his
quick.
go-to. Yeah,
Yeah. And I mean, you got Terrence Mitchell playing 20 yards off of the line of scrimmage. Like, come on.
we're just giving them yards.
I mean, Ben can throw at least 5 yards. So, I mean, though, that's going to be open. So,
Yeah,
I don't know. I was just frustrated by that. I know I seen a lot of people on Twitter was too, but you
but
know, it
let's
is
talk
what it
real
is.
shit. MJ Stewart is really coming along with his defense in the playoffs.
Yeah, I think he's found his role.
I mean, he'll give up a touchdown and a couple of yards, but MJ Stewart is a nice corner to have on your team.
Yeah, I think when they use him in that
And
nickel
you know
role,
what he kind of reminds me of? He kind of brings back memories of TJ Carey at that nickel spot.
yeah, he does. He does kind of remind me of TJ. Where is is TJ? TJ's on the Colts, I think, right?
Yeah, yeah, I see him on the Colts. I see him on the sideline on the playoff game the other week.
That is an interesting comparison, but yeah, I do think MJ Stewart's really found his role because if you remember, they had him playing outside and he was getting torn up.
Yeah, and let me tell you, I mean, you gotta look at this. Robert Jackson hasn't played bad.
No, no, for the role he was asked to play, yeah, very impressive.
Yeah, definitely, man. And another thing, let me about this upcoming Sunday. Let me ask you this: are you leaving Denzel Ward on an island with Tyreek Hill?
uh I honestly, here's the thing with that. I don't know who you're gonna help double. I mean, are you gonna have red wine double? Are you gonna have Sandejo double?
It'll
I mean
probably
it.
have to be Joseph.
And you know, Carl Joseph, I mean, he's a great player, but he's not a speedster, you know. So I really don't know. I think I heard somebody talking about it seems like the weakness for the Chiefs, well not for the Chiefs, but for Patrick Mahomes is um that cover 3 where you can kind of disguise things back there in zone.
I'm trying to think. I really haven't. I really don't really. I pay attention to the Browns defense, but I'm not really sure. Have we played cover three before?
Um I
Probably not too much because I've never really noticed it.
No,
If we have,
I haven't really noticed either. I'm sure we have. and we've just
I know
kinda
we play a
glossed
lot of
over it.
cover too,
Yeah. Well, we
but you
play
know,
mostly cover 2 because it's always been well, recently well, maybe we have been playing more cover 3 recently.
well, I remember
Because
Pittsburgh we
with
played cover too.
yeah,
So who would that third who what would that third defender who you would put out there if we do end up if we see some cover three?
I don't know. But
Would you put
here's
red
what
wine back? Oh, we did play a little bit of cover three. That drive where red wine got that interception that was cover three.
yeah, I know what you're talking about, where it got tipped up to him.
Yeah, that was cover three.
Yeah. So, but I heard, people talking about that as maybe the or the one weakness of that Chiefs offense, and somebody pointed it out, remember in the Super Bowl how Mahomes was kinda not shut down, but slowed down is because of that cover 3, confuse things in zone, you know,
So you kind
and
of got like you got two safeties over top. Then you got another one man in the pretty much the middle of the field kind of.
yeah, but the point is you know who was coaching the secondary for the
Joe Wood.
49ers? Joe Woods. So, if he's
And what I
smart,
what and when I was hoping, and I don't know if you watched the coaches interviews with the media every day during the week. I
sometimes
try I try to
I almost throw up listening to him sometimes.
yeah I try to watch all of them, but I what I was hearing with Joe Woods' interview is I'm kind of hoping they also said that him and Robert Saleh he helped Robert Saleh make that game plan. So what I'm hoping is we see a little bit of that Super Bowl game plan from the San Francisco 49ers what they put on Mahomes last year. I'm hoping we see a little bit of that. And
Yeah,
also,
that's what I
you know something, another game plan I will kind of base off of a little too.
what's that? Ugh.
I will watch that game plan that the Atlanta Falcons put up for them, and the
Yeah,
one that the Oakland Raiders used. Well, I will watch the Oakland film for offense though, 'cause they were running a lot of Oakland were running a lot of um a lot of slants. 'Cause what I was noticing during the film is that Kansas City leaves a lot of little open windows in the middle of the field.
and Baker tears apart the middle of the
And I was
field.
just seeing, I'm like, ooh, I could see Higgins going across the middle of the field catching this.
Mhm.
And you know what
Yeah.
else I think he's gonna be? You know who else I think that could really play a big role in this game on Sunday?
For us,
Yes,
offense or defense? What are you talking about here?
offense.
Offense? Um, I'll tell you my
Just
pick.
take a guess. Just take a guess who I'm talking about.
I think a guy who can have a big impact is going to be David Njoku
That's exactly who I was talking about.
because I feel like they're going to leave him open.
That's exactly who I was talking about.
I was going to go Harrison Bryant, but I think in this game, Njoku fits better because of his athleticism. You
Yeah,
know what I mean? Because I think this is going to be a battle of, um, I don't, it sounds too easy to say outscoring, but I think outsmarting. You know what I mean? When you have a guy like Njoku who gets kind of undervalued and can kind of slip under the rug a little bit, I think his athleticism and his size, I think that's going to be huge.
yeah, definitely. That's exactly the person who I was talking about. And
And you know what? I want to see us use him in a DK Metcalf role.
stealing the words right out of my mouth, man.
Seriously. I mean, he might not have the best hands, but can you imagine putting a Joku out wide with, you know, um, putting Hooper at his normal spot, and then you get one of your burners or whatever, you put Landry out there. People are gonna let Njoku go. They're gonna think, oh, whatever, and he's gonna be wide open.
And then Joku has some pretty good yards after catch too.
Yeah, he's a very unique tight end because he's not really great at anything. He's just a freak.
And
athletically.
also Njoku really stepped up his blocking as well.
He has, and you know what I think it is? I think
Using his
Callahan's
pass
been
rush a
working
lot.
with him.
Yeah, yeah, definitely.
I think so. I think that's that. I mean, I'm not saying that's everything, but I do think that could be a part of it. That Callahan, because obviously this coaching staff, they're smart enough. They know what his weaknesses are, So I'm sure they probably said, "Hey, listen, you're probably not going to play a lot. If you want to, you're going to have to learn how to block." That would be my guess. But
Let me ask you about this.
yes, sir.
Our starting offensive line on their starting defensive line. How do you feel about that matchup?
Oh, I feel great. I feel great about our offense against their defense. I feel great. Now, they have some dudes, Honey Badger and Chris Jones. Those are two guys that are going to make their impacts. But the Browns have played much better defenses, in my opinion, than the Chiefs. I think the Chiefs' defense is just a name brand, and
Their
that's not
offense,
like,
just their offense holds a lot of weight, so you think their defense is that good
yeah,
too.
like I honestly, the Ravens defense, the Steelers defense, well, not the Titans. I'm trying to think who I was thinking of. The Colts. Those defenses, honestly, in my opinion, are better. So
Oh,
I'm not
especially the
too
coach.
afraid. Say that again.
I say especially the coach with Darius Leonard in the middle.
Yeah, I'm not afraid of the Chiefs defense. I'm afraid that Mahomes is going to have free will against our secondary. That's my concern.
Yeah,
But it does help that we're going to get, Johnson and Ward back, especially Denzel. Problem is like you were talking about, Tyreek Hill is going to be a problem. But honestly, in my opinion, I think if you said who is the key other than Patrick Mahomes, who's the key guy that you have to stop to win? It's Kelsey. I think
yeah.
it's Travis
And
Kelsey.
actually, I feel real confident with B.J. Goodson guarding Kelsey. I mean, if you look at it all season, B.J. Goodson has done a phenomenal job on tight ends.
Yeah, and I wonder how much they're gonna put Ronnie Harrison in that role too.
I forgot about Harrison.
Because I feel like Kelsey, I mean, there's a lot of different styles of tight ends. Kelsey is that he's got such a great relationship with Mahomes that he always knows, where to get open. If he gets back and he sees,
I
nobody's
pray
open, he
I
finds them
pray to God.
spots.
I pray to God they don't put Mac on him. Please don't.
I mean,
Please.
Mac last year, that's what I loved about him, but
This year's taking a little step back from him.
I
Coverage.
think we need probably 2 to 3 new linebackers in the offseason
Yeah.
cuz I
I
feel
wish
like
we could see a little bit more Jacob Phillips because he can stop the run and he can stop those. He gets in that backfield fast, especially try to run like a little screen. He'll get back there and blow that up.
yeah, I feel like you need to for next year, I think our linebacking room should I would re-sign Malcolm Smith and BJ if you can get them cheap. I think Smith you will be able to. Um Goodson, I think he's played enough at a pretty decent level that teams might pay a little bit more, you know. So
Yeah,
we'll
BJ
see.
Gibson had a pretty good season.
Yeah, we'll see. If we can convince him to stay and we can re-sign Smith as well. You go out, honestly, I would love to draft Owusu Koromoa, linebacker out of Notre Dame. Um I think when you look at where the AFC North is going, I look at Joe Burrow and I look at Lamar Jackson, I look at J.K. Dobbins, I look at Joe Mixon, the Steelers will get somebody eventually. We need athletes at linebacker who can move side to side quickly, you know, and that I think that's what we're missing. I mean, Phillips has great size. He's a great tackler and he's really fast.
Quick, yeah.
I think we
I
just
mean, I think
need go
he
ahead.
just needs to get a little bit more experience and stay healthy as well.
What I think, if we moved forward, if let's say if we go into next season with Jacob Phillips as a starter, either let's just say let's say Goodson leaves, right? Let's just say that.
Okay.
If we go into next year with Phillips, Smith, and Owusu Koromoa, I am feeling great about that linebacking core because you have a guy in Malcolm Smith he's good at everything. He's a great corner. He's a great coverage linebacker. You got Phillips, who is fast and he's a sure tackler, and then you have an athletic freak in Owusu Koromoa who can fly all over the field. You know what I mean? So I think that's really the game plan. And then obviously you keep Sione Takitaki and you can bring him in on rundowns and stuff like that, whatever. But I think the game plan for next year or for this offseason is pretty clear in my opinion. It's just a matter of actually getting it done. But who knows, you know?
Yeah, definitely.
So how are you feeling about the Chiefs? Do you think, well, let me put it this way. People are going to say we don't even have a chance. Do you believe we have a chance?
Oh, we have a great chance, in my opinion. I'm. I don't think I've ever been this confident going into a game in my entire life of being a Browns fan.
Okay. I like that. I like what I'm hearing cuz all I've heard is, "Oh, well, it's been a good run, you know."
Yeah,
I if we can beat the Chiefs, I got news for you. I think we can win the whole thing.
yeah, because Baltimore, Buffalo really don't scare me.
I think Baltimore, I mean, Josh Allen scares me against our secondary because he can throw it
Yeah,
500 feet or whatever. You get what I'm saying. He could throw
yeah.
far. And I feel like if you put, you know, a Cole Beasley deep or whatever, I feel like he has that all day. I don't know. I feel like, think about this, dude. We are one game away from the AFC Championship.
It's
How
insane to even say that.
how crazy is that? From last year 6-10 dysfunction, not knowing if Baker's our quarterback, not knowing who the coaches are going to be, who the GMs, uniforms, all that crap. And now it's like, oh, okay. I
It's
mean,
insane.
the change from year to year is, I mean, unbelievable. But yeah, I feel like I think the formula is there to win. And I think if the Browns win this game, it's going to be through ball control, controlling that clock, and, being smart. You know what I mean? You don't want to go shot for shot with the Chiefs. I don't think that's smart. They have too many weapons. They can score too quickly. I think you need to use Chubb and Hunt, stay in bounds, hit guys over the middle, like you said, even if it is short yardage stuff, and, go with long, drawn out drives and score.
Now let me ask you this:
Go ahead.
would you take the ball? Would you take the ball on offense first, or would you put our defense out there first?
That is an interesting question because normally it's not even debatable. It's, oh, well, you defer, obviously. But the thing with this game is if you can start off the opening drive with Mahomes on the bench and eat up half of the first quarter and score, you know what I mean? Because there's something, have you played football like
Yeah,
high school and stuff?
yeah,
There's something about that pre-game right before the game starts, your adrenaline going, you know what I mean?
yeah. Definitely, I know what you're talking about.
And I feel like if you can force Mahomes to have to sit there and wait and wait and wait and kill some of that adrenaline off because it's still going to be there regardless, but there's just something about that right before the game starts. So, honestly, I mean, uh, I don't know. Um, I think I might receive.
Yeah, cause I seen. I don't know about you, but when we go down and score on that first drive, first, I feel like we can't be stopped.
I think when we get off to a good note, yeah, just get the rhythm going.
Yeah, we go down there and score. I feel great.
Yeah, and like I said, I mean, I wanna score, but I don't feel good with our defense going toe to toe, score for score, you know, and have it come down to them with the ball in their hands to win.
Let me ask you this:
Go
Is
ahead.
Miles gonna come back to his regular self this game?
Um, I don't know. I've heard him talking about that and stuff. Listen, I had it, and I feel like me and him kinda had the same stuff going on because I couldn't hardly breathe at night, and I've noticed now, like, after the fact, if I do, like, if I get that heart rate up and I, start breathing a little bit more heavy, it's not, I mean, I don't wanna say it hurts, it's just harder than it was before. So, I mean, he's obviously got medical attention right there for him, you know, and he's obviously a well-trained athlete, not like myself. So, I mean, you gotta think about it. He's gonna be going up against, Fisher, right? Or
Yeah.
Swartz, depends where he lines
Oh,
up.
Ford stopped playing.
He's not?
No,
What happened to him?
their whole offensive line is kind of banged up.
Really?
Yeah, that's what the
Wow.
whole knock on this whole game was.
Hmm. I have not seen that yet. I seen the depth chart came out, but I haven't looked at it.
Well, Swartz might play, but they're not going to be 100% healthy.
I think I think Miles, I don't know if you say get back to Miles being Miles. I think Miles has a bigger impact than he has had the
But
last few weeks.
I think we're going to need Ogunjobi and Richardson to bring the heat as well.
I think we need, yeah, I agree.
Richardson's been playing good though.
He has. Because remember, he was like a guy who wasn't proven. When he came to Cleveland, he was just kind of like, hey, he was defensive rookie of the year. He's bounced around. He's never really caught fire. It seems like he's caught fire in Cleveland.
Yeah, and he played pretty good in Minnesota as well too.
Yeah. And he's not like, he doesn't make a great play every down, you know what I mean? But when we need him to make a great play, he does. And that's the best part about having a guy like that. So, I
And
mean,
just think if Andrew Billings hadn't opt out,
I know so many people forget about the opt outs, and I
we
think
still
about
got him
Drew.
for the year.
Think about this. What if Drew Forbes never opted out? Does Wyatt Teller ever become this Wyatt Teller? You know? I mean, obviously he would work just as hard,
Drew
but
Forbes, he was gonna be a starter.
huh? Say that again?
So you saying Drew Forbes is probably gonna be the starting guard right there?
No,
If he had not,
I'm saying this. I'm saying sometimes the best players don't always start, and Wyatt Teller was not the surefire pick. A lot of people thought that was um Forbes's role to step into. So I'm saying, what if they had him starting out as the number one and, Teller never really had a good chance to prove himself? Because I think that's why he has overtaken that starting job is because he's proven himself now. If he didn't have that chance, who knows?
yeah, true, true,
So,
true.
I mean, I don't know. It's just something to think about. But yeah, if we had Billings, he'd be perfect. I mean, he's the perfect guy you want on, situations where they're going to run the football. I mean, his size, you know,
He can
he's
fill
just
two
like a
gaps.
he's a boulder in the middle, you know? But so
And
yeah,
Vincent Taylor has come along too.
he has, and I'll tell you what, Jordan Elliott's starting to get in there too, I notice.
Oh yeah, definitely, definitely.
That's one guy who it seems like he's
Hey,
not the one
you know,
who's go ahead.
you know, Vincent Taylor is low key reminding me of a little when we had Devereaux Lawrence.
Yeah, well, Devereaux Lawrence was I don't know why they let him go.
Yeah, me too. Devereaux Lawrence was a monster.
He was a beast. He kind of reminds me of like um I don't want to say this like disrespectfully, but like a little bit of a Dollar General version of Ogunjobi. You know what I mean?
Hey,
Like like he made those impacts. Like it wasn't consistent every down, but when he got there, it was like this dude's a monster.
yeah, definitely.
So, but yeah, so do you have a score prediction for the Chiefs?
Not really, but I say the Browns got to score at least 45 points to win this game.
That is a lot of points, man. Um, I'm gonna pick the Browns just to speak it into existence, and I'm gonna say the Browns win 38 to 31. 38-31. What do
Okay,
you think
okay.
about that?
It sounds pretty good. It's gonna be close one. It's not gonna be hard easy though. It's gonna be close.
And you know what? I'm so excited. I'm such a huge college football nerd. That Baker Mahomes battle of the Texas Tech Oklahoma. I mean, I have rewatched that so many times. Those two guys just put on a show. I mean, that if you said like as crazy as this sounds, if you said watch these two guys and say who you think is going to be the best of these two, I mean, it's neck and neck, but people are probably saying Baker, you know. And Oklahoma had the better team, obviously, and that helped Baker, but man, those two, it was just one team scores, next team scores, next team scores, and it was just back and forth, back and forth. So, I mean, if we get anything close to what that was, this is going to be entertaining.
Yeah, and it definitely would kind of be like that Monday night game with the Ravens. That was a shootout.
That it was. So, well, I don't know how long we've been going. It feels like we've been on here for a while. So, let the people know where they can find you.
You can find me on my Instagram at Cam Chasen with two N's at the end. You can find me on my Browns page at Browns Nation. You can find me on Twitter at Cameron Crawford.
And I will tag him if I remember to when I post the or yeah, when I post the link and everything. So be sure to go follow him, give him some support, and as always, you can find me. I'm pretty much everywhere at DF Sports. I think. I think is that right?
Yeah, 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 yeah. You're there.
Twitter. Yep. Yep. So that's it. Let us know your thoughts. Got a big game. Do you know what time this game is?
305.
3:05. Okay.
Myers got
So,
declared
who did?
Josh Myers.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I thought he was gonna stay.
Yeah, he was one that a lot of people thought was coming back. So, yep, whenever it's off season, we will talk about Ohio State. We'll talk about the Browns' future and all that after seasons are over. We got a big game coming up, folks. If the Browns win this, we're in the AFC Championship. So, it's going to be exciting. I'm excited. I know you're excited. We're all excited. Who's not excited? So, that is it for us, and we will see you in the next video. Goodbye.
We see you.